now watching The Social Butterfly with Priscilla. All things entertainment. Can we have a conversation? Hello, welcome to another taping of The Social Butterfly. I am so excited. I have producer extraordinaire, CEO of Platinum Boys Music here with us today, Amadeus.
Oh, what an amazing vibe and energy and spirit, and thank you for having me here.
I'm so excited to have you here. I have
you.
so many questions to get into.
Okay.
And we talk about everything here.
Okay.
We get all in your business.
Let's do it.
So, but I first want you to kind of explain to our audience what it is you do, because I don't think my intro did any justice.
It's pretty good though. It's pretty good. As you mentioned, CEO of Platinum Boy Music Inc., a multi-platinum bad boy hitman producer, Deshaun Diddy Combs, music director for Trey Songz, tour drummer, resident drummer at Dre's nightclub in Vegas.
Oh my God.
Father, as my son is here.
Yes, and he's adorable.
Thank you. Motivational speaker, educator, just, a fan of music, a creator of music.
Right.
And it's allowed me to really branch off into doing a bunch of different things and multitasking. So
Right.
honored to be here, humble and grateful.
I'm
Salute
so
to you.
grateful you're here. Thank you.
I reached out to you.
Yes, and I was like, what?
I reached out to her.
Okay.
She's doing amazing things.
Thank
and
you so
just
much.
want, be a part of what you're doing and,
That's
and
amazing.
supportive and, hopefully inspire and educate those that watch your
He
platform.
said the right word. He said admire. And I see that you grew up in the Bronx. How was that for you? How was your childhood for you?
Man, grew up in the Bronx, 169th Washington Avenue, the projects over there. So childhood was pretty challenging due to the environment
Absolutely.
That I was around. But I had amazing parents that sacrificed for me, sent me to Catholic school all my life. I hated it. I had to dress up all the time.
Right.
I wanted the J's, I wanted the Pelés, and
you couldn't do it. Uniform.
Man. Uniform, the gray slacks, the shiny black shoes, shirt and tie. Embarrassing for me as a youngin', because I wanted to fit in like everyone else, and I kind of stood out, and the way I was presented, but stood out not even knowing in regards to what how God blessed me and the talent that I had. So went to church, so Fridays, Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays I was in church. Everybody was at the house parties.
Absolutely.
Going out, having fun.
And you had to go to church.
I had to go to church.
Me
man.
too. So I'm down with you.
So that, but it was good. It was good because the environment has raised me to become the person that I am in regards to, knowing what the streets are and what it is and what it doesn't have to offer.
I love the way you put that. What it doesn't have to offer.
What it doesn't have to offer.
How important is God to you?
Everything. Everything. God-fearing man. Far from perfect. Let me look at the camera.
Can I just have a moment of silence for that?
But God-fearing man.
Yes.
And I look at the. I know this is a conversation, but I look in the camera because when people say God-fearing, people say God, they expect you to be perfect. So I'm far from perfect. I'm very flawed.
We're gonna touch on that too.
But blessed. But blessed.
A lot of times our mess becomes our message. And it then flows into our ministry, because I think we all have one.
Right, absolutely.
And a lot of times people don't understand. They'll point the finger if they see something you fell apart about. But the blessing is in the brokenness.
Right. Yeah.
And that same mess becomes your message.
Right.
How did all of that influence your work?
Man, first off, I knew how I got my gift and where my gift came from. You know what I'm saying? So it's about recognizing who gave it to you, which is God, and just wanting to use my gift and live life. You know what I mean? I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 and no shots, no shades to anybody. But I knew that I had this gift and talent. I'm saying, how can I live life with just doing what I love to do?
Yes.
And it took me, a long time to get here. People see us where we are and what we're doing and think it's an overnight thing. And, I've been doing this for 16, 17 years.
Amazing.
Started very young. I started in high school.
You look young.
I don't know, man.
You ain't got no grades.
Took me a little, no. The hat is blocking the grays.
I got some too, don't worry.
But, I'm not ashamed.
That's right.
I feel his knowledge. I feel his wisdom. I feel his journey. I feel his challenges.
Right.
You know, all of those things that cause us to have, you know, gray hairs. I had a conversation though, because I was like, you know, should I dye this black? You know, Puff said,
for men?
you know, Puff said, I forgot. Puff made a statement one time, like, you know, gray hairs ain't good for business, for men.
For men.
Gray hairs ain't good for business.
But it seems like it's the thing now. You know, so many people are like rocking the grays, and the girls are doing the gray wigs and stuff like that. It just seems like it's in
just
now.
takes somebody being fearless to just do whatever they want to do, and then once you do it, they be like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then everybody else jumps on the bandwagon.
Speaking of fearlessness, how did you become fearless, like in your work and what it is you do? What gave you the confidence to be able to do that?
You know, just thinking back to, like, you know, where I'm from, I think the environment kind of forced it in a way.
Right.
You know, growing up, you know, surrounded by drugs and violence and gangs, and I remember having a thought of maybe I should become a part of the gang so that I can protect my family. You know, we're coming in late nights from church, we're all suited and booted, and I'm like, man, if maybe if I could become a part of them, then that'll make sure that when my mom comes in late, brothers and sisters come in, my dad comes in late from work, they'll be good. But thank God I didn't have to take that route.
Right.
You know, God kept his hand on us the entire time. And I appreciate where I'm from. You know, I don't want to make it seem like, yo, it's so bad and this and this and that. It's like, I love where I'm from. Everywhere I go, represent where I'm from. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from 169th. I say
where hip hop started.
You know what I'm saying? So I love where I'm from. I just wish that, you know, we can do better. We can do better as people. We can do better. You know, we have all of this black excellence around us. From, of course, I'm sure you discussed it a bunch, the Black Panther movie. And you know, such, you know, and it's like all of these models and all these figures from our president. It's the only president I'm gonna say my president.
We stopped at
Barack Obama.
44.
You know, so I remember, and my son is here, and he was laying in the bed with me, and watching, you know, him become president of the United States.
That was like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
just one of the most amazing moments.
Like I'm very emotional.
In our lifetime.
Look, I'm very emotional. I ain't ashamed of it.
Me too.
Real men cry.
That's right.
And I bawled just watching it.
Me
like,
too.
And it wasn't just for me. It wasn't just for my son, but it was for those of our culture. It's like, yo, we have no excuse.
Like, high five me.
Like
none.
We
like
have
no excuse.
Yo, there's a black man that's the president of the United States of America. I don't want to hear
nothing. That's right.
Nothing.
This is a good question. You know how sometimes when you're raised in a religious background, which all of us are, even my homegirl that came to visit us from Philly, was it hard for you to transition from gospel, that whole arena, to secular music? Because you know how our parents could be when it comes to stuff like that. Question. How was that?
Well, just to go back, like growing up, it was challenging for me because my parents really didn't allow it.
Okay.
So I used to, I snuck to listen to hip hop music.
Ooh.
I had a Walkman. See, y'all know about no Walkman, I had a Walkman.
This generation,
and
right?
I hid the Walkman under my pillow.
Ooh.
So whenever I got sent to bed, and son don't get no ideas. He'll have an iPod now, but every time I got sent to bed, Funk Master Flex was on.
Oh my God.
And I would listen to him for like at least an hour and a half. And no one knew that
I
did that. I was always a person that wanted to work and make my own money. So I used to pack bags. And when I used to pack bags, I couldn't afford the real actual cassette tape. So listen, man, $4 to get you a cassette tape, man. I had to go get the bootleg joint until I was able. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no shame in my game. But yeah, I just loved hip hop music all my life. So you know, it's challenging with my parents, and I get it. You know, the profanity, the language, things that were said. I guess they didn't want me to tap into that vibe, tap into that spirit, and allow it to overtake me. So I get it. Playing drums in church all my life.
That's amazing.
All my life. All
amazing.
My life. So,
I'm gonna need some drum lessons because I've always loved the drums, and in my head I was Sheila.
Do you have coordination?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so that's it. As long as you have coordination, you're good. You got to be able to do something with both hands, both feet at the same time.
Oh God!
But you know. I don't
know. I don't know if I can walk and chew gum like that at the same time.
I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be alright. But you know, like I said, it was definitely challenging. You know, my pastor, who's a bishop now, you know, she knew what it was that I did. She gave me her 2 cents.
Yes.
And she allowed me to be the person that I am. She allowed me to be a man. You know, as a man, you know, you have to make your own decisions. You have to decide on what you want to do in your life. Like, I'm responsible for my life. You know what I mean? So God is in us. God is in us, and
He's in the midst.
And I absolutely.
When two or three are gathered,
absolutely.
You know that.
And I feel like most times as spiritual beings, we expect too much out of one another. Because everybody that's going to church, everybody, you know, I haven't been to my church in a long time because of my residency. So I'm actually in Vegas every weekend.
Right.
But that's why it's important to have your own relationship with God and take Him wherever you go.
You know, I'm gonna have to high five that again. What? Can we have a conversation?
Sometimes you
that
can't.
Is so
sometimes
important.
you can't. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't get to God's building. Sometimes you can't get to that place. With me touring for the last 10 years with Trey Songz, you know, you got to take Him with you.
Right.
You know, I've had Him in some of the most challenging times, and in Paris or in London, and can't reach home. Can't get in God's place. So you have to have that personal relationship to be able to have a conversation. You know, people always want to ask Him for something. You know what I'm saying?
You know, don't give me, because you will have me have church in here today. Everything you're saying is just, it's what I live by.
Right.
It's not about religion, it's about relationship.
Yes.
Because in the most trying times, it's not your religion that's going to save you, it's your relationship with God.
Yeah.
And you have to take Him, like you said, wherever you go.
Right.
So, with that being said, favor ain't fair.
Right.
We just gonna say that off the bat. How was it being chosen by ESPN to do, you know, everything that you have done? That's amazing. That's an Emmy award-winning TV show. They're brilliant in everything they do, and you were chosen to work with them.
Man, you know what? And I'm glad you asked that question, because there's a really great story behind it. And
tell us.
Oftentimes, people miss out on opportunities thinking about the financial aspect. So So what happened was the music director for that show, I think taught a college course at University of New Haven. And I remember, you know, him asking me to be a panelist for whatever he was doing for his class. And I was living in Orange County at that time. So from where I was living to where the school was probably about a 2-hour drive, both each way. You know, so he's like, listen, there's no budget. Just come through, do this. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I was like, you know, let me think about it.
Right.
Drive all the way over here. We're not getting paid no honorarium. Right. At first, I was like, man, I don't know. And he's like, okay, well, don't worry about it. And then in that split second, I was like, let me just do this, man.
Let me
just do it. Showed up, did the panel, and he's like, hey, anybody hungry? I don't have no, you know, we're not going to like Philippe Chow or, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go to this Subway over here, though.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm cool with that. You know, my son, we love the tuna.
Okay.
The tuna on the wheat bread, provolone, you know, double meat.
We're spirit animals. I see it.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, cool. But in that meeting of us sitting in Subways, no fancy place, no amazing dining experience. Everybody's eating sandwiches. And he just starts talking. And he's like, man, we're trying to do this theme song. You know, I've been trying to get Talib Kweli. And I'm like, whoa, it's my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of work with him. You know, my son's mom has toured with them for years.
Amazing.
So I had a relationship there. I said, well, I'll reach out, connect you guys. And I was like, whoa, who's doing the beat? So we haven't figured that out yet. I was like, me.
Right.
And he was like, okay, cool.
Wow.
So as you can see, you know, the theme song is there, but it's not Talib Kweli. It was supposed to be Talib Kweli and Mos Def. A few things happened, didn't really work out.
Right.
Wale is a big fan of the show.
Right.
Family member of the show. Wale came about, brought in Stolly, who was a part of MMG.
MMG, yeah.
You know, we did the theme song, but that's how that pretty much came about. Us sitting at Subways, having a conversation. I know him, let me connect y'all.
Yes.
And it all came about. So I produced the 2012 theme song with Wale and Stolly, and then now the 2016 version, which is still Wale. Revamped it. They sampled me. Normally, you know, you sample like the OJs or like, you know, Curtis Mayfield, David Porter. Sampled me. Brought in the live drums because he's from DC.
Yes.
So they have the whole go-go feel. Live band.
Right.
And man, it's an amazing accomplishment, one of my biggest accomplishments.
That's
you know?
amazing.
As a sports fan,
absolutely.
To see LeBron James dunk backwards on somebody with my, music playing in the background, or Melo take the shot when he was a Knick,
yes.
Odell Beckham make that one-hand catch.
I feel like that was a jab when he was a Knick. We need him. We needed him not to leave.
Yeah, but you got to make the best decision for you, man. And I don't like, and I'm on camera saying this, I don't like how we treated Melo. It's all about how you treat
that
people.
again?
I don't like how we treated Melo. So I'm die-hard Knick, but once they did that to Melo, it kind of shifted me a little. So I don't.
Well, I've been shifted since Ewing. So like we.
I don't use Ewing jersey yesterday. I thought about wearing it today. I said, but let me represent. I said, let me represent the brand. Let me represent the brand.
Right. And I mean, you do so many amazing things. You have so many songs that were placed on Chris Brown's album.
9.
And I was just like, who has 9 songs on someone's album? That's where I say favor ain't fair.
Oh, yeah.
Because that has God's favor all over it.
I got to get you. Now watch.
Oof.
9 songs on Chris Brown album, right?
Yes.
First opportunity for me to appear on an actual album of his, right? But not the first time we've worked.
Amazing.
So throughout the years, Chris and I have been working for about 7 years now. Throughout the years, we've had a bunch of records that was either placed on mixtapes, leaked, and with the mixtapes, with the leak, there's no, real compensation and stuff like that.
Right.
But back then, it was just kind of like the rule. It's just how it works. It changed now.
Right.
But back then, it was kind of the rule. So I say that to say, it took me 7 years to land on an official album of his.
Oh my God.
To then be, compensated and to really earn revenue from it. I got 2 plaques that hang on the wall today from it, gold and platinum for the album, and 9 songs. And like I said, man, I say it all the time. People think that things happen overnight, or it just happens because you're talented or you're dope. Yes. It's all about God's timing. You know what I mean? I didn't get it.
God's timing is everything.
6, 7 years ago, and I'm like, man, how come I wasn't on an album? How come? But,
and you're showing people how to build relationships. You built that relationship.
So now, like as you mentioned, 9 songs on the Heartbreak on the Full Moon album. And honestly, Chris and I, my team, probably have about 40 songs in the pipeline. Wow. Unreleased, all written too, because we've created that relationship where, I've become one of his go-to producers, and my Platinum Boy Music has become the go-to producer. So whenever he's in the studio, with them Amadeus tracks, with them Platinum Boy tracks.
Amazing.
So, a few more announcements on the way.
Absolutely.
For songs that he's written, co-written, hooks on. We have the Davies Perfect record, the single with Chris. So a lot to come.
Amazing.
With Chris and myself and Platinum Boy Music.
I knew he was a star a long time ago.
Man.
He did his first show. I did a show. I used to rap. And I still write music. Yes, that's good. I'll pull out all my cards.
Might get some bars today. Might get some bars today.
You just might. And I mean, I seen him, and I talked about this with Mike B. Like, he was just dancing and all this energy and flipping all over the place. And I'm like, this dude is a problem. He's really going to be amazing. And just from the beginning until now, it's just like, wow.
And just to shake the devil up. You see where he is.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? People wanted to take him and ball him up.
And throw him away.
Throw him to the side because of a flaw, because of a mistake.
But aren't we all flawed? But God.
And I say it all the time, we judge Chris, we judge Trey, we judge Justin Bieber, we judge these people that are in the limelight.
Yes.
And I always say it, I'll challenge you. Take a camera and let it follow you everywhere you go.
And see
let's see what we find.
I think everybody has an issue. It depends on what time of the month you catch.
Absolutely. They can't do, because of the fact that they're celebrities, they can't do anything. They can't move anywhere without a hidden camera, without somebody, they can't go to Walmart and get a toothbrush without,
somebody being there.
That's so-and-so. So their every move is documented. You know what I'm saying? So they're living their lives in front of the world. So of course you're going to see this, you're going to see that. You know what I mean? But one of the most amazing individuals I've met, Chris Brown, Trey. I've been working with Trey for 10 years. Watched him grow as a young man to now, a grown man, a king. You know what I mean? And one of the most amazing individuals ever. Like, I've seen him in every walk of anything, from being upset, angry, excited, because I tour with him.
Yes.
And we're on tour buses. We're going from
That's
city
like
to city.
family. That's intimate when you get to
understand?
know someone on that level.
You know what I mean? And, you know, people just judge, man. People judge and judge and judge. And it's like, yo, before you judge, like,
Scripture
look yourself.
says, judge not, lest he be judged. And he who was without sin cast the first stone.
So, so we shouldn't be receiving no stones because
I'm telling you.
Who is flawless out here?
Not one person.
You know?
How is that working with Trey on tour?
It's amazing. You know, that situation is dope because we were both in the studio in Houston.
Okay.
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
Yeah, Mike Jones. Working on the record, and there was a drum set in the corner. And I just kind of put it out there. It's like, you're going to need a band. I think he had his first album out.
Wait.
I said, you making that soul, man.
My God.
You're going to need a band behind you, brother.
Should I say first single?
Yo, you're going to need a band.
That was the bomb, right?
That's what I said. And he was like, I said, I play drums. And we laughed about it. A year later, I got a phone call from his manager, Delonte Murphy at the time, like, you ready to put the band together? And I was like, wait, nope. I didn't know about putting no band together. I played drums, but I didn't know nothing about putting a band together. And I remember hollering, hitting with my brother of mine he was Casey's music director and Casey and JoJo. So I tried to pass off the role to him, and he was like, nope. You're going to do it. I'm going to come out with you. I'll be the keyboard player. Whatever advice, whatever you need, whatever information, I'll give it to you. Not give it to you in front of everybody.
Right.
Give it to you this way.
Isn't that amazing?
You know what I'm saying? And 10 years later, BET Awards, all kind of toured, opening up for Jay-Z, toured, opening up for Usher. Did a tour with Chris Brown, Between the Sheets tour.
I heard that was amazing.
Miguel Elvana opened up for us.
Wow.
Before the world really knew. Big Sean opened up for us. Anticipation 2 tour, mixtape tour. Opened up for us. You know what I mean? And this is Trey's vision of saying, yo, he's dope, she's dope, he's dope. Let's bring him out. Right. And look where those amazing artists are. You know what I mean?
How did you walk into becoming a motivational speaker? You're very positive. Your whole energy, your vibe from our first interaction.
Right.
I was like, who is this dude? He's a bomb. And then as I started to research a little more, I was like, he is the bomb.
Thank you, man.
Amazing. So, like, how did all that translate into everything you've been through in life?
Right.
Translate into you becoming a motivational speaker?
I mean, we're a world full of titles, so I mean, I guess I had to throw the title on it, but it's just who I am. I just love helping people. I love pushing people to be great at what they do.
Absolutely.
And I just feel like it's a calling on my life in a way where I'm in this position and I have your attention because I work with all of these amazing artists and amazing talents and have all of these songs around the world. So I can gain your attention through that and just kind of bring you in and say, yo, man, it ain't me, it's God. You know what I mean? Like, you want the same thing? Tap in.
Listen,
I just tapped in.
Moment of silence for that. I always say tune in, tap in, turn on.
Yeah, tap in.
God.
Yeah, so very passionate about it. You know, as you can see, probably when you were looking me up as an individual, just passion. I love telling somebody, yo, man, you see me? You're looking at me like, yeah, and then, we'll shake hands and we'll do a high five, and I'm like, what happened in that moment? And they're like, and I'm like, it's an easy answer. Did you feel anything? Someone's like, oh, yeah, I felt like, I said, you didn't feel nothing bad. Nothing happened. Point I'm making is there's no difference between you and I. So if I can do what I'm doing, I can step out on faith, I can be fearless.
Come on.
I can work hard, be passionate, practice, rehearse, whatever my career field entitles. You can do the same thing. So that's pretty much
that's amazing.
Where I'm at.
How are you able to balance
That's a great
everything?
word. Very challenging. Very challenging. As you mentioned when we walked in, I'm very exhausted. Very exhausted.
I mean, I was talking to you and you was like, I'm in Vegas, and I'm like, oh, dude, I thought you got me beat. Like, I'm just man. My goodness.
Very exhausted. Vegas is a different time zone from us being in New York, so 3 hours behind.
Right.
I'm performing at 12:30 in the morning, which is 3:30 in the morning our time.
Right.
I'm playing an hour. A lot of energy being exuded, traveling. Like yesterday I landed home in New York, went home, took a 15-minute nap.
Right.
Got dressed because Young and May, we produced her new single.
Respect.
Practice.
Yeah, practice. Amazing.
So she had a video shoot, picked my young prince up from the airport, went straight from the airport, straight to the video shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
That's amazing.
But, I always say, I'm tired. You're right, I'm tired. But no complaints. You know what I mean? This is what I dreamt of. This is what I worked so hard for. So, that's it's important to, be transparent. and be real and let people know that, yo, man, it takes a lot to do what I do. It takes a lot to be me. It takes a lot to be you. But when you love it, you know,
I'm a serial high five.
When you love
it, it's not work.
It wakes you up. You know, from my emails to my text message, my son has my phone. I have, no exaggeration, I promise I'll show you after the show, I have about 240 something unread text messages.
No, listen.
You too? Look, and this is just a text message. Normally that's an email. And I don't say that to boast. I don't say that because it's not cool, actually. But I don't have an assistant.
You don't have an assistant.
I handle everything.
I had one. She went back to school.
You know, so it's tough. It's tough. So I try to keep up with everything between the emails and my business, CEO of Platinum Boy Music Inc. I have 2 artists, Captain D-Mac, Flyboy Maestro, residency in Dre's at Vegas, touring with Trey Songz. I have a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to be able to, and then you got to be able to have family and people that loves you, that understand. That people ain't going, you know.
I got to clap for about 2
minutes. Either you understand or you don't. Either you rocking or you don't, man. So like those that are tuned in, if you just happen to be a family member of myself and the Queen, you know what it is. You know, it's like a 9 to 5. It's like you know, when you're at 9 to 5, you can't answer the phone.
You can't.
We live a 24/7 joint.
We have a from when we open our eyes to when we close them.
Yes. A non-stop. It's a non-stop process.
I just want to salute you for one, for being a king that carries his young prince around.
Oh, yeah.
That makes time for that. A lot of people, well, of course you have God in your life, so I know that's a big factor in you know, how you operate. But a lot of people do not do that.
Right. And
I think that's so important. What advice can you give for some men that maybe struggle in that department?
And I'm glad you asked that, because on the ride up here, you know, I said I could have created this interview to be another date because you was here, you know, because you was here. But then I was like, no, I want you to see what I do. I want you to get a feel of what it is I'm doing and what it takes, you know, to not only be great and successful in the world of music, but to be able to provide for you. Like, this is what's necessary. This is the hard work. This is the labor. Video shoot yesterday straight off a plane. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
Like, and he was there for that, to see the process. And I said, I want you to see the process so you can know what it entails. He wants to be a pilot. You know, and it's different from what I do.
Amazing.
It's different.
I'm going to be on the bottom with pom-poms.
You know?
Brilliant.
And I told him, I think it was yesterday, I told him in the car ride, I said, don't try to match or live up to my legacy or what I created. Like, and he carries my name. You know, my name is Antwan Thompson Sr. He's Antwan Thompson Jr.
Amazing.
And I said, you don't have to do music. You don't have to fall in the same footsteps. Whatever you do, you're going to have, you know, me and your mom's support.
Right.
And that's very important. It's very important to walk your walk. So he wants to be a pilot. You know, it just happens that my life has to do with flying planes.
Amazing.
A few times a week.
Yes.
You know, so I envision seeing a black young man guiding the plane, which is very rare.
Very rare.
I don't see a lot of us on these planes. You know, so for the men out there, we created these young princes and princesses, and you know, oftentimes you hit a speed bump in the road with your spouse or with the mom, and then you take it out on the child, and it's like, nah. That's a big mistake that we made. I really want to high five
you again, but I don't want people to get.
Let's do it, man. No rules. Look, this your show. But you know, so just
amazing.
Figure it out. So figure it out. Make it be about the kids. Make it be about making sure that they grow into who.
How many do you have?
2. I have one now. That's my son, and my lady has a daughter, and that's my little princess too. You know, I didn't birth her. Oh. But listen, man. What's hers is mine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, did y'all hear that? Amazing.
And she knows that. You know, it's not like she knows her dad.
Want more?
You know, I do.
You're not quite sure.
You know what it is?
Sis, have some more. We want more.
I want more. The challenge is lifestyle, time, what it takes, and it's kind of a selfish statement because you know, spiritually it bothers me because I know God wants us to create.
Oh, He does. He wants you to be fruitful and multiply.
Yes. But it's like, I don't know. That's like a whole half-hour show.
It is.
You know, whatever. Look, I'll answer it like this: whatever God wants.
That's a clean way
for us. will be. But you know, for,
another one.
You know, we got a little sidetrack. But you know, for the fathers out there, man, really tap in. You know, take care of your kids, figure it out. Don't make no court system tell you what to do, tell you how to be. You know, you're a man. God created you as a man. You know how to be. Take care of what's yours. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. I love being a father. Love being a father.
Amazing.
Love being a father. The fact that we created this amazing human being that looks just like us, carries my name, moves, breathes. You know, he's totally dependent off of, you know, me and his mom.
Yes.
You know, so how can you let him down? Innocent, just amazing. You know what I'm saying? So just tap in. It ain't too late.
It's,
That's the key. You know what I'm saying?
It's never too late for you to start.
It ain't too late for you to get it together. Get it together. Work it out with the mom, you know. And for those moms that are playing both roles, you know, shout out to y'all.
Absolutely.
You know, I salute y'all. I salute women that hold it down for the fathers that don't hold it down. You know, so we in a new world, man. No more N-word. I call every
my
even if you're not black.
Hurt from high five because I mean it's just no more N-word.
We kings and
Can
queens.
we say that?
And look, I gotta. I don't know the cameras could.
Yes.
My hand says king
on his hand.
So this is a lifestyle for me, man.
Brilliant.
Long before, you know, the Black Panther movie came out. My son is here. I've been calling him a prince for years.
Amazing. I call my kids young kings.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just show love, man. It's the reason why the movie is out. The reason why the movie is so successful.
I've seen it 4 times. Right?
Listen, man, bringing us together, the highest grossing Marvel movie
ever.
Period. Black is beautiful.
Wow, it's amazing.
Black is beautiful. So yeah, I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
I'm so grateful you came.
You
and
gave
I'm
me,
stealing
you know,
it back.
You give me so much props and accolades, man.
You're
But
amazing.
I gotta give it to you. I gotta give it to you. I gotta salute you on doing what you're doing, having this a platform for people like myself to come and express. So without you, you know, how do they hear from me? You know what I mean? So salute to you, salute to the team.
Come on.
You know, the producers that are back there doing what they do, the cameramen and women.
They're amazing.
Shout out to y'all. And your partner, man, she made you look great.
She did the whole zhuzh up, you know, for me. Thank you, Hannah. I want to ask you about your artist. I want to hear more about them.
Yes.
What made you want to go down that route to actually, because it's okay to kind of do your own thing, but to send the elevator back down, that's another. Because a lot of people don't like to put to kind of do that.
You know what? It was kind of a thing that just happened because I kind of made it up in my mind that I didn't want any artists at the moment because I know what it entails. There's a lot of time, there's a lot of energy. It's just a lot, and not saying a lot in a negative way, but just it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. But when I met these two kings, man, I just couldn't help it. You know, it was just a vibe. It was just an aura. It's just how they carried themselves, swag, lyrical content, melody, tone.
That's important. I'm real funny about. I did my first show with DMX when I was 14 at the Cotton Club.
Wow, the Cotton Club.
At the Cotton Club in Harlem. He taught me that that's important.
Tone, man.
It's everything.
Think about it.
Are they a group?
No, it's separate. Captain D-Mac is from the Bronx.
Okay. Shout out to the BX.
Yeah, shout out to B all day. Flyboy Maestro is from Vermont. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I met him and he came down. We have an event called the Sit Down. And it's basically, I created this platform for artists, producers, songwriters to meet with me.
I need to come.
You know, so
next one.
You know, social media. Everybody's sending me links and CDs and gig sticks, and I don't have the time to really devote my energy to listen. And I really wasn't looking, so it's like I'm really not having the time. But I wanted to create this platform just so people can be heard.
Right.
You know, it's not easy. And if you pass me a CD or hit me with a link online, I might hear it, but you're not going to get my full attention. So we created this opportunity for people to sit down. It's 30 minutes. They sign up, they register on the website, and they sit down with me for 30 minutes, no distractions, no...
And each individual artist.
Absolutely. So I met them at that platform. And I also met a team of producers by Velocity Music who signed to Platinum Boy Music. Amazing producers. Their first placements with me is on the Chris Brown album. So their first placement, they just got their plaques. You know.
Salute to you.
So man, there's so much opportunity. Right. So much money.
We just scratched the surface.
It's like I don't even want it all. Why? What am I doing with it? Like,
we're blessed to be able to bless others.
Absolutely. So it's like, I have a team of producers, Velocity Music, Trilogy, Chizzy, B-Ham, The Breed. So all of these guys are under the Platboy Music. All of them are on this Chris Brown album as well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You've worked with J-Lo. Yeah. You've worked with... Can you just give them a list of... Like, I just want you to give them... Like, just do 10.
Okay, 10. Let me see. You helping me. So J-Lo, Chris Brown, French Montana, Dipset, G-Unit, Lil Wayne, Keisha Cole, CeeLo Green.
Come on, it's like a trillion, y'all. I'm telling you.
Marcus Houston.
I
owe you one more. Wale.
And there's more.
Yeah. I just sum it all up and say I've been blessed to produce for 80 major artists.
80. Did y'all hear that? 80
major artists. Still going. Because there's a lot of people, you know, and you know you've been in this business for a while.
Absolutely.
That have this huge explosion and they're hottest in the game, producers, artists, songwriters, singers, whatever they are, and they pop, and then 2 years from now they just disappear. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I want to ask you about. Since we're on that subject, let's segue into this.
Okay.
Hip hop, when we were growing up, to hip hop now. What is the difference and how did you adjust?
Great question. Wow. When I started, I was a heavy sampler. Straight hip hop, hard drums, sampling. You know, I only wanted to make beats for like DMX and like the Locks like, and like, you know, Fab and like just straight.
Right.
And I just wanted to challenge myself to do more. You know, I'm a church musician. I'm surrounded by so many dope musicians and other talented individuals, and it goes back to like collaborating and okay, you play keyboards, right? Come on, let's go to the studio and let's make some R&B joints. You know, we get the guitarist and the bass player in, make some R&B joints. So I challenged myself to just tap into the other genres. So that's why you have, you know, songs for me by Fab and like French Montana, but then you got a J-Lo and then you got a Chris Brown, but then you got like Paul Wall and like Mike Jones, and then you got like The Game. And these different artists from different parts of the world, which obviously all has to have different sounds.
Right.
You know, so I just didn't want to be boxed in. I started getting called the hip hop producer, and as much as I loved hip hop, it was like, yeah, but I could do this, I could do that, I can do, you know, pop.
You don't limit yourself.
Nah, man, never let anybody box you. Always challenge yourself to do something else, even if you can't do it alone. That's another. People always want to do something themselves, and it's like, yo, if I pull you in a room, and we're in the studio making music,
and we're all dope.
It's 4 different ideas. That's 4 different outlooks. That's 4 different ways to hear that song. You know what I mean? And you all put your ideas together, and you have a masterpiece. Versus, you know, yourself, and you beating yourself up and trying to get your ideas. Like, you can come in and say, yo, I don't hear that, but I hear like this.
Yes.
And you add that.
You can make it the dopest ever with all the elements.
It's cooking. It's like, you know, I'm not no chef or nothing, but my brother is. You know, but you know, you're making mac and cheese, man. You might have to use the cheddar cheese, and you might have to have the, how do you say this? A Gouda?
Yeah, Gouda.
The Gouda.
You need Gouda in there.
You might
Monterey Jack.
Monterey Jack. That's 3 different cheeses. Now, when we was coming up, it was just cheddar.
Cheddar. Right.
You
the way he said it was just cheddar.
It was just cheddar. But when you broaden your horizons, now with the mac and cheese, now it's like mac and cheese with 4 cheeses.
Come on.
And then you got the pizza with the 4 cheeses.
You better talk about it. Listen, I love doing mix it. Listen, next time you come in, it's gonna be in there.
This is home. She gave me a
usually
gift bag
have
food and everything. Flowers, got the mimosas, man. I feel like
try to make you feel as comfortable as
Great
possible.
job.
I want you to come
Great
back.
job to you and the team. I'm definitely coming back. I might wear a suit, man. You know, you looking all elegant. I might have to put on the. Yeah, I thought about it. I thought about it now. But
no, next time, look at me dropping the phone again. It'll get edited out. Next time, I'm gonna have a spread for you.
Wow.
A whole spread. I always like to do a word game.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw a couple of words out there, and you give me the first word that comes to mind.
Uh-oh.
Money.
One word?
One word. You cannot cheat.
Don't matter what I say.
Don't matter. It
Money.
Can be anything.
Greed.
Family.
Everything.
God.
Number 1.
No, that's 2 words.
1. 1.
Life.
Challenging.
Pain.
trying to think of one word. I know what I want to say. Pain, happiness.
Can I tell you what my word would be? Teacher.
I like that game.
I got couple more questions for you. Hip hop.
Bronx.
Love.
Me.
You about to have me run around this Me. Oh, that shuts it down. That shuts it down. That shuts it down.
Nothing but love. Ain't a single hate in my body, man. I got love for everybody.
How can you give some advice to people who deal with challenges from people who hate on them?
I use it as motivation. Because they don't really hate you.
It's misguided love.
Yeah. They really admire you. They really admire what you do. They really admire how you move, how you walk, how you talk, how you create, how you be great. And somewhere, somehow, whether it's childhood, whether it's growing up, whether it's past experience, has allowed, that spirit to just kind of become them.
Because it is a spirit.
Spirit, man.
Hurt people hurt people. It's a spirit.
So you got to use it as motivation and just keep pushing.
Absolutely.
So I use hate and just be like, because again, they're not really that mad. They're not really.
Do you do this? Some people, if you find somebody that doesn't like you, do you sometimes give them a pound or a hug because that's what they need?
Yeah, but with me, I'm me. So I'm not really good with the like camouflaging.
You can't
I'm just
hide
straight lying.
things.
Like just straight, King of the Jungle was a lion, man. It's like
right.
So my queen be like, "Man, you gotta fix your face."
Your face needs deliverance.
My face is terrible.
Mine too.
Because we're creative,
has bad
so
energy.
With drums, when I'm playing drums, I'm like, doing this, and I'm making beats. So it's all creative. You're emotional, and so
Absolutely.
I'm just, so sometimes it ain't really right. It ain't really like what it need to be.
Right.
But energy is energy. So even if I put on that face,
it's not gonna. You
feel it.
You can feel it. Energy is everything.
You can feel it. But I challenge myself to not allow that spirit to overcome me though. Because it's like, I know you don't like me. I know you don't feel me. I know you don't vibe with me. I'm not gonna become you. Not saying that I'm better, but I'm not gonna become you. I'm gonna let you know that I know, but I'm gonna still show you love. You know what I'm saying? And that's the blessing.
Brilliant.
That's the blessing. That's why we're blessed. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. I can't become who you are, because one day, you'll get to where I'm at in life. Last year, and you mentioned pain, and I said happiness, and I wanted to explain that if I could.
That's yeah.
Last year was one of the most painful and happiest years at the same time. I won't get into the because it's very personal, but just having to adjust, just circumstances changing, just life changing, and having to adjust and roll with the punches in a short amount of time.
Come on.
Right? So I had to deal with that on a personal level. But business, booming.
Let me tell you something.
You know what I'm saying?
When I say we are kindred spirits, last year was a challenge for me. But a lot of times, those challenges push us into our purpose. It's the shortest cut to get to where God wants you to be.
Right.
And He has to give you those elements, because when you're making a cake, the different ingredients taste nasty if you eat them by themselves.
Right.
And you know what I'm about to say. But when you put them together and you beat them up, put them in that oven, when it comes out, it makes what we all love, is that piece of cake. So we have to understand that all of what we go through is a part of the plan and a part of the process.
It builds you. It builds who you are. Builds character. It builds strength. Because at the end of the day, I feel like God is saying, I'm allowing you to go through this.
That's the perfect word.
I'm allowing you to go through this. It's a test to us. I want to see how strong you are. I hear what you say in your prayers.
Yeah.
I hear what you say to other people. I'm going to test you. So mind you, while I was going through this challenging time in my personal life, I'm on tour, doing shows every night. I have to give an audience along, of course, with Trey Songz, the best experience possible. So in those moments, you can't see what I'm going through.
We're gonna have a conversation off camera, because you are hitting it. What's next for you?
Man, everything. We all have so much in us. We also have so much in us. It's just about tapping into each one of those things and being fearless. A lot of us fear really digging deep in regards to what we want to show the world and what we really want to tap in talent-wise. And it started producing and drums, and a drummer doesn't have a residency.
Right.
A drummer? No.
That's unheard of.
Artists, DJs. You have a residency at Dre's in Vegas? You do DJ?
Yeah.
Nah, I play drums. What?
You're changing the game.
So it's like, do what you want to do. Ain't no rules to being great. Ain't no rules to talent. Ain't no rules to how you use your talent. Just don't hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever you're doing, just make sure that it uplifts. It puts a smile on people's face. It encourages them, inspires them versus taking from them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. The artists we have on Platinum Boy Music, we have the Music 101 college tour, where we go around to schools educating them on the music business.
Amazing.
I have this residency in Vegas. I tour with Trey Songz, making records. So I don't know. I just wherever God wants. Whatever makes sense. Whatever makes sense.
Listen,
another high five. We got into it.
Come on, I need you back here. You have been the bomb.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank you again. I thank you for everything you've contributed to this thing that we love called music and just life, and for changing people's lives.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to have you.
I'll be back. Y'all be back. I'm gonna wear a suit. I got listen. We ain't playing out here, man. I gotta show you. I get down. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We will be back. Sayonara. You are now watching The Social Butterfly with Priscilla. All things entertainment. Can we have a conversation?